Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the term zero inbox. And the idea is that if you're a professional or any type of business out there, how do you ensure that you keep on top of what possibly could be the most stressful part of owning any business? And that's making sure that this little button down here, this little icon, shows zero. It's a term called zero inbox. And I've seen quite a few people out there giving their tips on how they keep on top of their inbox and making sure that they come to inbox zero. Because let's be honest, there's nothing more important to you than having that brain space to be able to go look at your phone or whatever it is you're looking to keep an eye on your emails and be able to have that confidence you're on top of everything, that the client's had a reply back, or that you've made sure that you've approved something, or whatever it is that your email chain and email workflow is doing. Are you on top of it? And I'm one who gets very, very stressed if ever my emails are out of control and I'm not on top of them. It's definitely something that really makes me struggle in terms of making sure that I'm getting the best out of the day. So I have some tips and tricks that I'm using to make sure that I can feel on top of it at any point in time. And that's what I'm going to tell you now. So let's roll the credits. Let's get this into this bottle of VT. Hello, my name is Patrick. I am a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with a fancy new logo, that QuickBooks Chap on the internet, head of accounts here at Boffix, and also your friendly podcaster who goes live each and every Monday morning for Ask the Accountant. Now, I've seen a lot of people give advice and help and everything else on how to create that zero inbox mentality. But first of all, let's figure out exactly what we mean by zero inbox. The idea really is straightforward, that no matter what device I'm looking at any point in time, if I was to go and pick up the device, I'm looking at this device now and it's telling me I have zero unread emails, meaning that at this point in time, I'm in a position where either people have had expectations set, so if I can't give them an answer straight away, I've set an expectation for when that's going to be, or I've dealt with everything, or I've just got rid of all the junk and got it out of the way. So what do I use to do this? Now, first of all, device is up to you. What device you use. Is it always going to be on your mobile phone? You're keeping an eye on this one. For me, it works really well because funnily enough, the mobile phone's always with me. Or are you going to be focusing, laser focus on what's on your computer, say, or on your iPad, or whatever it is? You need to figure out what device works for you. And for some people, it's completely different. Some people really don't like having or can't have access to all those important emails on their mobile device. For some businesses out there, you just literally can't get those emails coming through here. For me, really lucky. I get every single email. Is it lucky or is it not? We'll talk about that later. But I get every single email in every single chain, out of every single business, out of everything else, flowing through this one little device, and all my emails appear on here. And this isn't where I do most of the processing. This is just my opportunity to keep on top of it. This is my dashboard, if you like. This is me knowing, am I on top of those emails? Yes or no? Because it's not just emails that I have to deal with. Every business is going to be the same. I have Teams messages, I have emails, I have WhatsApp messages, I have text messages, I have all sorts of different ones. And actually, if I go on my phone and I scroll across, I only have one page of apps within my phone. And I've done that on purpose so that these are the apps that I need to keep on top of. So when I take a quick look at my phone, I've got my email at the bottom and my text messages. That's because that's where they've always been. But you'll notice I also have a row of WhatsApp, messages, Instagram, Facebook, there to make sure no messages have come in for work, anything like that. And then below, more work stuff. So notes, that's where I keep a lot of my notes of what I'm doing and keeping them on top of everything through there. Then I have my Teams, and if there's something on there, I can see it straight away. Hubspot, which we'll understand later why that's so important, and then LinkedIn's out there as well. So I feel like just having this set up as almost a dashboard for me to keep on top of everything I need to do, which means when we look at this zero inbox functionality in a minute, I know that at any point I can pick up my phone, have a glance, and I can understand exactly where I am. So how do I get to a zero inbox? Now, first and foremost, the most important thing to note is that you really need to be strict on what you mean by zero inbox. It doesn't mean that you have done everything that that email has set, or you have completed all the tasks in a particular email and you've just read it for the sake of reading it. The actual thing for me is reading emails is so simple and straightforward, right? And sometimes too simple. And how many times have you got to a position where you've seen an email that's really important, you've read it, you've absorbed it, you've then gone to mark as unread, and then for whatever reason, that's not actually marked as unread, it becomes read, and you miss that email, and then it becomes the client chasing you or something like that. That happens too often for me, or too often that I would like. So for me, I have a really strict policy. First and foremost, I set a time for what point in the day must my emails have got to 0. So for me, that's 3 p.m. And I always have some time set in my diary that 3 p.m. every single day, I have gone through every single email and everything I've had to try and make sure that at least from 24 hours ago, or at that point in time, everything has been read. If I do it 3 p.m. every single day, even weekdays, unfortunately, but if I do it for every single day and keep on top of it, that means that whatever happens, I know that no email or action point from an email is going to be longer than 24 hours. And the fact that I also look and keep on top of the rest of the things we're going to talk about later, that means I have a line in the sand to say that, right, from this point onwards, I'm going to be on top of everything. Now, again, when I'm saying I'm on top of everything, doesn't mean that everything's been done at that point. What it means that at least everything's been acknowledged, at least I can put it into the priority parts, at least I can feel comfortable that I'm in a position where I can do things. Now, there are people out there who will tell you, and this will work definitely for some people, that they don't look at any email until the line in the sand time. That definitely 100% works for some people. That is definitely something that, you know, we all work differently, and that idea that you're not constantly looking at your emails and you do it all in one batch works definitely and works 100%. For me though, if I've just got that spare few minutes between waiting for meetings, for example, if I'm sat there at a Teams call and the person's not turned up yet, something like that, then I will use that time just to go through and just give myself a bit of a head start for making sure at that 3 p.m. mark, everything's been dealt with. But how do I deal with it? Okay, so first and foremost, I'm spending most of my time going through, I'll be completely honest with you, hundreds and hundreds of emails a day. Most of them, I'm just reading them before I even open them. The idea of that, or the reason behind that, is because everyone gets junk emails, right? People trying to sell you something, people trying to push you there. And as much as I can, I try and make sure that they go to junk emails and stuff like that, but it always happens. So I spend most of my time, if I'm honest, just getting rid of those junks. That's like the first thing I would do. I would just go through the list of, say I've got 30 emails to deal with, 40 emails to deal with, go through and just read the ones that are purely just junk. Just get rid of them straight away. The next thing is about prioritizing what's next. And I have 2 criteria. If it's something I can deal with there and then, I will deal with it there and then, just so I'm not having to worry about it. So if it's, asking for an approval, or they want to book in some time, or whatever it's going to be, or they're just wanting to move a message along, then I will quickly just go and I'll respond to it there and then directly on this device. But ultimately, get it done there and then, and it moves on. The next bit's going to be the bit that's more tricky, and this is where I always use another piece of software to be able to manage my emails. So for us at Boffix, our main emails always go into Hubspot. Hubspot's been a brilliant tool we've used for a long, long time. But I'm also using it for my personal emails as well, and my personal tasks, as in personal tasks that have come to Boffix or come to Apple or whatever product there is. Because for me, within HubSpot, it's a great way for me to prioritize and put items in the right place. So if something's come along here and it's something I can't deal with there and then, first thing I do is I'll try and make sure that I raise expectation with the client or the employee or whatever stakeholder it is, and I'll make sure they understand that I'm going to be coming back to them at some point with this information. But then what I do is I forward the email from my personal or wherever it's come from. So at this point in time, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different accounts connected to this one device. Some of them very active, some of them nothing happens for a long time on them. But the idea would be, though, that if anything comes into one of those accounts and I can't deal with it straight away, I forward it into HubSpot. Meaning that as long as I've set the expectation with the client, I know it's going to go into a place where I have to complete it. I have to make sure it's done. I have to go in and it gets converted into a ticket. I have to physically close that ticket for me to be able to say that it's dealt with. Beauty of doing it that way as well means that I get some nice little stats on it as well. How long did it take me to do this? Right, well, this was a particular task. I'm doing this task on a regular basis, and now I know it always takes me 20 minutes to complete whatever the stat's going to be. That's really important for thinking about capacity, for thinking about well, maybe if I start passing this sort of work to someone else, how much are they going to be able to deal with it? Little bits like that, those little stats can be really, really important. So let's have a look at what HubSpot does. So think of the scenario. I've had a load of emails. I've gone through them all. First of all, I get rid of all the junk. Then I go and I look at something I can reply to. I reply to it straight away. If I can't reply to it straight away, I forward it to HubSpot, meaning that my email itself is now done. Make sure I've informed the client or the stakeholder what that expectation is of when it's been replied. But I know now it's in a whole different area. It's not in my emails that can easily be read and gives me anxiety that I'm not on top of it, etc., etc. It's now in my task management area, HubSpot. Let's have a look at HubSpot and why we use it so much. So first of all, we get this nice little dashboard here, which tells me how long the team is taking, and that's actually way above what our KPIs are. So that's something that we need to be dealing with. But at least I'm aware of it, right? At least I know that that's something I've got to look at. We can see what the volume is compared to previous times in the period. I've got details. I've got all these other details that I can see and what productivity and everything that's going through. The key here is our ticketing area. So if I go here and I go to CRM and tickets, and HubSpot's free, by the way, this ticketing area is brilliant for me because what it does is, yeah, straight away I have 30 tickets at the moment. So I've got 30 items I've got to action. But I'm in confidence in these because I can see my ticket status here, and I always put it into that order of, well, new means that I've never looked at this ticket in my life, so I've got to deal with them. There's 3 of them for me to deal with. Client reply means that since last time I've looked into here, the client has replied to me. So always prioritize them, put them up the chain for me. So that's something I've got to deal with. I don't have any tickets that are urgent at the moment, but urgent will be up there as well. I could choose this one, for example, to urgent, and you'll see then it becomes a higher priority. And then I've got other statuses. And the whole idea is that when the ticket comes in, even if it's a personal one or from my personal area, I send it in and I then assign it to this area. So then I can put the right ticket status so I can get that stats, and also so I know when to deal with it. Because each ticket I can go into and I can assign what that ticket's going to be. So is it for review? Is it task required? Is it in progress? What that ticket is. And at the moment, I can see straight away, yes, I've got 30 tickets. But out of those 30 tickets, 2 of them are new. So I need to figure out what pot they need to go into. One of them is now urgent. As we saw, we've just created an urgent one. 2 of them clients replied. They're definitely top of my list of something to look at. Then I've got tasks required because I've said there that basically there's 5 tasks I just need to get done as next priority once I've cleared my urgent and my client replied. And then I've got pots of more long-term work. So awaiting client reply. So, I'll probably end up closing that in a minute. And when I close it, it means that that ticket now taken away from my list, take me from 30 to 29. Great. I've also now got accounts to complete. That's my next pot. So that's quite a long-term pot there. And some of these are accounts from start to finish. Some of them are, they've just been passed over me from team or something. Just do some finishing touches too, or to make sure that I'm happy with it before it goes. Then I've got ITRs to complete. They're in a nice little pot. And then I've got some on hold as well, because yes, a task that I need to get done, but they're not urgent. They're not essential. Let's put them on hold. Let's clear them out once I've cleared the rest of the tickets out. But it gives me confidence now, knowing that all those emails have come in and now gone into those individual pots. They're either in new, urgent, client replied, or task required, accounts to prove, whatever pot I need to make. And I can create as many of those tasks and ticket status as I need to, so I can keep on top of them. We also have options of seeing our global emails as well. So in here, I've got 2 tickets that have come in over since last time we looked at this. And we have a 0 ticket policy as well. Different in our generic one, because we actually as a team look at it at 10 o'clock every single day. And as a team, we all have a meeting, we all get into the same call. And one of the points that we do in that meeting, one of the agendas, is making sure this comes down to 0. So I know now, and to help the team out, I'm going to sign this over and move it over to our marketing area, get it over from there. Because those 2 tickets can now be done. And then what that means is I can have confidence that once that's been updated, that now I'm in a 0 ticket status, a 0 inbox status in my generic email as well. So our your account at Boffix, our most important email address we have at Boffix, because that's the one where our clients will be replying to. And being in a status knowing that, yeah, at the moment, that's at 0. It's been decided both a person, so if someone's taking control of that particular team, taking ownership or whatever that ticket is, if it's a client asking for a set of accounts or asking for a question or whatever it's going to be, that's now in an area for me. We can have confidence that that's going to be looked at. And in that individual person, they can assign where that's going to go. So using HubSpot, which again is free, means that I now have full confidence that at any point, my emails can be down to 0, and the tasks generated by those emails, the ticket that we call them, are now going to be shown in this pile here, giving me all the confidence that they will be dealt with. Because my favorite thing about this is the only way I can say that this one here, for example, has been done is literally I have to close the ticket itself for that now to fall off there. I get stats about that ticket as well, so I understand how long it took me to do that particular task. But most importantly, and the most important thing is, I can't actually go past here, I can't finish this, I can't move on from here unless I close the ticket, which is a much, much better position to be in than accidentally reading an email, accidentally reading that and moving on from there. So there we have it. That's how we make sure that we have that 0 inbox mentality at all times. Now I know that every time I go into here, I'm confident that there's an email in there I can go through and I can get it dealt with straight away. Either it's going to be junk, I'm going to read it straight away, I'm going to respond to it there and then, or I'm going to pass it over to my HubSpot area so I can put it into the right area. And if it's in HubSpot as well and I need some help on it, HubSpot gives me all that functionality. So any of these tickets I have, I click into them. I've got all my stats that go around them, see all that. But if I need to, I can actually go and put it to a different account owner, move it from there. Or I can ask someone in the team to help me answer the particular question, or I can even email directly from here. It gives me so much opportunity to be able to keep on top of everything as we go forward. And one final thing about having the phone setup that we have to keep on top of that 0 inbox mentality. Well, at any point, I've got my team, so I can ask a question from the team and talk to them. But I've also got my HubSpot. And HubSpot's exactly what we've been looking at, but in mobile form. And that means from here, I can see those exact tickets we've just looked at. I absolutely love just having that ability to be able to quickly look on here and just go, you know what? Oh, the client has actually replied. I get the notification as well if I need to. Yeah, I best really jump in that and go into there, go from there. Having it on your phone makes it so much easier. And there we have it. That is a look at how we deal with 0 inbox. Let me know in the comments below, how are you keeping on top of 0 inbox? How are you making sure that you have that sensibility that you keep it on top of everything there? We get absolutely inundated with inboxes and everything else. My other point, what I love about turning into a ticket, is for us, a ticket is created by every single touch point a client can send. They send in a Facebook message, if they send in a WhatsApp, if they send in a call, whatever they do, however they get that touch point with us, we convert it into a ticket. So for us, a ticket isn't just the emails we've received, it's every touch point from clients. And that really does help you get that 0 inbox mentality so that you know you're on top of everything and you can then prioritize the stuff that's important for you. My name is Patrick. If you've liked this video, don't forget to use that like and subscribe button. And if you need any more help or things, you're already in the right place. So make sure you put the comments section in below if there's any questions you've got to know. We'd love to know about how you keep on top of your emails, how you keep a 0 inbox. My name is Patrick. It's been a pleasure to do this video for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.